So, you screwed up.
Put another gay diverse woman in it. Make it more fucking lame.
Don't worry.
She's got help.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
You've got to do better, Senator.
Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations.
Black girl magic!
A girl finna be bigger than Jobs.
Right.
Bigger than Gates.
Right.
Bigger than Penn.
Right.
Bigger than Stark.
Yeah.
Combined.
I was fired February 2021.
Fortunately, the success of this show has made you a target by some in the right wing.
I dropped a diss track. That's what I heard.
The gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And embracing yourself. Star Wars. It's pretty gay, let's be honest.
She's a powerful leader. Yes, yes.
Moses is a brilliant actor. She's a brilliant woman. We stand with Moses. We love Moses. You're no Star Wars fan in my mind.
I just want to know what's going on.
Of course you do. Stick to your post and follow my orders.
How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
Feels great.
I wanted to talk about that new article that came out in Variety. It's so funny. Disney's Boy Trouble. Studio seeks original IP to win back Gen Z men amid Marvel Lucasfilm struggles. It is their own fault. Like, they drove them away. They said, we don't want you here. They drove them away. And then they're like, hey, where'd you guys go? Where'd you go? How come you left? It's so stupid. Disney in their whole, like, trying to cater to women and making Marvel a girl brand and making Star Wars a girl brand, specifically catering to millennial women. And I say millennial women because that's who these live action movies are for. They're for millennial women. If you look at the Disney theme parks, they are taken over by Disney adults.
Disney World Souvenir. Make sure to bring a clickable Sharpie and have all the characters autograph your Stanley Cup or tumbler.
How are y'all not tired of going to that hellhole anymore?
And who are Disney adults? Disney adults are primarily millennials.
They have Disney memorabilia and their whole life revolves around Disney. And obviously the main group of people who are Disney adults are millennials.
Millennials who do not want to grow up. They don't want to live in their life now because they're extremely depressed. And they don't want to live in their life. They want to be nostalgic about everything.
Walk around a Disney park today, what you get is young and middle-aged adults wearing fancy dress, pretending that they're 10 years old again.
They're looking back and buying into all of this nostalgia, and Disney saw dollars there. And so they decided to cater to that demographic specifically.
Only about 37% of Disneyland visitors live in households with kids. The rest are just grown-ups without children, treating their love for Disney like a personality trait. Disney's obviously aware of this and pivoted hard, because what Disney figured out is how to trigger nostalgic childhood feelings in our adult brains.
Because they are the ones who are buying all of the nostalgia merchandise and going and seeing all that and being reminded of their childhood. They saw millennial dollars and they saw money in nostalgia.
Disney began to realize that there was no age limit on princess-themed goods, and they began paying more and more attention to their adult audience, something epitomized by the 2007 collection of Disney fairy tale wedding gowns. In the years since, Disney has continued to fulfill these nostalgic fantasies with kitchenware, luxury jewelry, baby clothes, and cosmetics, creating an endless cycle, with little girls carrying their love of Disney princesses into adulthood, and then passing it on to their own children, who pass it on to theirs, and so on.
They decided, you know what, as long as we're doing that, as long as these millennials are introducing their kids to these properties now, let's turn them into girl brands, because Disney has always seen money in catering to girls. And we saw that with the rise of the Disney princesses.
There was a demand that Disney wasn't satisfying, a fairy tale lifestyle. And who better to market that fantasy than the very same characters these young girls are already projecting themselves onto?
And the marketing and selling of the Disney princess toys. Disney has always seen money in catering to girls. With their Disney princess line, they made millions, if not billions of dollars. There was a ton of money made from catering to girls. However, these brands like Marvel and Star Wars, they didn't cater to girls. They catered to boys, but we want to make money. So the easiest way to make money is to turn them into girl brands and cater to girls because girls will buy anything. It worked with the Disney princesses. And so let's try that with catering all of this to girls, because if millennials are trying to dip back into their nostalgia and introducing their kids to this, well, there's a whole new generation of little girls out there who will also spend their money on all of this merchandise and all of these movies. And unfortunately, that did not work because these are primarily brands that cater to boys, and they've catered to boys throughout the history of their brand. Yes, there are girls like myself that really enjoyed these properties, but I enjoyed the properties as they were. They didn't need to change or cater to me in any way. If you go back in Disney history, when they started making money off of the Disney princess line and realized, oh my gosh, we can make tons of money off little girls, they tried to do the same thing with little boys. I think it was called Disney Heroes or something like that. They really tried to cater to boys just like they catered to girls though, right? They didn't change anything in their marketing. They marketed to little boys just like they did little girls. And shocker, it didn't work.
Disney created a Big Brother line intended to appeal to young boys, Disney Heroes. The Disney Heroes struggled to find an audience, something Looney credited to the gender's different play patterns. And in 2006, the line was shelved permanently.
And I think that that's what they tried to do with Star Wars and Marvel. They really tried to go after that demographic because that demographic spends the money, and really thought well, the guys are there and they're always going to be there. They're never going to go away. And that's just not the case. They did. They were like, well, you know what? If you're going to make crap and you're not going to cater to me anymore, then I'm just going to leave. We know that the Force is now female and you're now catering to girls, and it's no longer a boy brand. It's no longer something that I'm interested in. And the stories are no longer heroic stories. They're more emotional stories.
No good girl be loved.
Here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult or might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
Don't do it! This was fun! No!
I'm here. You're not alone.
Invite her down, put her feet on the ground. Give me a chance here before it gets so messy.
How many chapters of your Captain Marvel fan fiction is this giving you?
So many. That's why we say Rey was a Mary Sue, because she doesn't go on a hero's journey. That's something that you can relate to. That's something that you can identify and see. And it's more like everything is just handed to her and people just automatically like her. There's nothing relatable to looking at this character as perfect. And that's basically what she was. She was perfect. And there's nothing relatable about somebody that's perfect.
You're the one they're looking for. We could really use your help. Not that you care, but I think you're okay.
And while they did that, they also said, men, you're also misogynist. Men, you're also sexist. Men, you are no Star Wars fan if you don't accept the things that we want to give to you.
You're no Star Wars fan in my mind.
You need to just automatically like it. It doesn't matter if our actresses write a diss track and tell you how much you're hated and laugh at it.
That's what I heard.
It doesn't matter. You should still stay because guess what? We're educating you. You need to think the way that we want you to think.
People that we need to educate, love into awareness.
Love them in the right direction.
People just aren't going to do that. It was such a huge mistake for Disney and for Marvel to cater that way and not keep these brands as they were. Lucasfilm went in on it by saying the Force is female. Kevin Feige famously said that we're going to try and get more women superheroes. And as soon as you brought in Captain Marvel and it was just a terrible movie, you're automatically just sexist and misogynist if you don't accept this one female superhero, which was stupid considering people had already accepted multiple female superheroes by that point. This one character that automatically just proved that the entirety of the Marvel fan base that were men were automatically misogynistic and sexist because they didn't accept Carol Danvers. They didn't accept Captain Marvel. And that was just really ridiculous. Same thing with Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk. You have to accept the bull bullying that our creators did to you during She-Hulk. We're making fun of the fans. We're making fun of all of the men that are upset at all of these female superheroes being a part of Marvel. They were very self-aware at what they were doing during the creation of She-Hulk. And they even put that in the show as kind of like a gotcha. Oh, we gotcha. See, we know you're trolls and we're just going to troll you back and laugh at the fact that we beat you at your own game. And haha, it's so funny. We're making fun of the fans that we don't want here. We're making fun of you.
Just remember whose show this actually is.
They took the Hulk's manhood away, but then they gave it to a woman?
Yeah, man. I don't get it. Why are you doing everything more female? So we have a Me Too movement, and now all the male heroes.
I have no problem with female heroes. I'm just saying, make your own.
And everybody was totally on board with that. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. And for Disney to be like, I don't know what happened to the male fan base. What are we going to do? Leadership at Walt Disney has been pressing Hollywood creatives in recent months for movies that will bring young men back to the brand in a meaningful way. Young men is defined here by sources as age 13 to 28, Gen Z. I think that Disney saw the Minecraft movie making over $1 billion. The main people that went to go see that were young teenage boys because there's nothing for them.
Chicken jockey! Chicken jockey! Chicken jockey! Chicken jockey!
Marvel was supposed to continue that and be that thing for young men. Same thing with Star Wars. But Disney decided, well, we're just going to cater to girls. They've been left behind. That whole demographic has been left behind. There's nothing to bring them in. There's nothing at Marvel. There's nothing at Star Wars. They've just completely excluded that demographic because they're just like, that demographic is not going to bring in money. We know for sure that the ones that bring in the money are girls. It's proven in what we've been doing over the past. It seems like they've gotten a wake-up call and they've seen things like Minecraft that actually catered to that demographic, that specific demographic, and they showed up for it and it made over $1 billion. Same thing with the Minions. The Minions movie made money because that demographic decided to go and watch that movie and they made it like a whole big deal, just like they did with the Minecraft movie. That demographic of people have just been left behind because, well, one, they've been villainizing men and been telling you that you have no inherent value. There's no value in you. So why should we cater to you? And two, they don't think that they're going to pay for anything, which is fucking ridiculous because this is the demographic that has gotten very much into gaming and will spend money on games. For them to think like, there's no value in that is freaking ridiculous. So it's so crazy how Disney is just like, oh, we're having boy trouble. We don't know what happened. Why aren't Gen Z boys coming and seeing what we're doing? It's like, well, you're not making anything for them. And now they're just struggling. They're struggling to figure out, oh my gosh, how do we turn this around? We want to put Mickey ears on boys now. How do we do that? In my personal opinion, they were never targeting that demographic to begin with. You lost them. And the reason that I say that they don't care about the fans that they pushed out, they still don't care. They don't want you back. They don't want the original fans that were there to begin with that they pushed out. They don't want you back. They don't care about you. You're gone. You're dead to them. They want Gen Z, which is why this is focusing on Gen Z men, because they spent all of these years trying to target girls, like little girls. They spent years and years and years, and they haven't seen any return on their investment. If anything, all of these brands are now down the toilet. They're in the gutter. They're basically on life support at this point because they changed their whole brand to appeal to girls and it completely failed. And so now they're seeing the success of Fortnite. They saw the success of the Minecraft movie and they were like, we've been ignoring this demographic of Gen Z boys. That's why the whole article, everything is surrounding the Gen Z boys. They're not saying, oh my gosh, guys, yeah, we pushed you out. We're so sorry. We want your business back. They don't care about you. They don't care about the people about the guys that they pushed out. They really don't care. They don't want you. Who knows if they're ever going to win the Gen Z male demographic? Who knows? They probably won't.